The Disney animated movies released from the late 1990s and early 2000s were usually featured in the Disney parks through temporary meet and greets to promote the new film. However, a few of these films did feature in permanent attractions at Walt Disney World, one of which is still surprisingly around when you consider the movie it is based on. Where can the Disney films of the late 1990s and early 2000s be found at Walt Disney World?
Excuse me, who are you?
Well, I'm Sarah.
And who are they?
They're the audience.
And what happened to China?
You knocked it out.
We begin in Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland, where Stitch's Great Escape opened in 2004. The Lilo and Stitch themed attraction had a similar premise to its predecessor, Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter, but was now more family friendly as it featured Stitch. The attraction saw guests becoming guards for the Galactic Federation, where they learn about transportation. They then enter the main part of the attraction, where Stitch is transported into the room with a guest to guard. Stitch ends up escaping from his restraints and scares the audience, including belching in their faces. Stitch eventually escapes the chamber and scales Cinderella Castle, while the guests are released from their seats and let out of the attraction. Stitch's Great Escape was met with mixed reviews and ended up going into seasonal operation in 2016, eventually closing permanently on January 6, 2018. The attraction's building still sits empty to this day. Meanwhile, in 2012, the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom interactive game debuted, where guests are tasked with stopping Hades and the Disney villains from taking over the Magic Kingdom. Amongst the characters guests encounter along the way are Pocahontas and Governor Ratcliffe from Pocahontas, Hades, Pain and Panic from Hercules, and Kuzco, Kronk and Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove. The game was available until 2021 when the attraction was closed. Hollywood studios saw a lot of references to the late 1990s animated movies that are no longer around. In 1995, the Spirit of Pocahontas show debuted in the Backlot Theatre, retelling the story of Pocahontas. The following year, in 1996, the Spirit of Pocahontas was replaced by The Hunchback of Notre Dame, a musical adventure, a musical retelling of The Hunchback of Notre Dame that ran until 2002, before the theatre was left empty. Over in Animation Courtyard, the Magic of Disney Animation gave guests a behind-the-scenes look at Disney's Florida animation department. Since 1998, as part of the main show, an animator would teach guests about the animation process with the help of Mushu from Mulan. Mulan was the first of 3 films produced by the Florida division of Walt Disney Feature Animation, the others being Lilo and Stitch and Brother Bear. The Magic of Disney Animation closed in 2015 to make way for Star Wars Launch Bay. Finally, in 1998, Fantasmic debuted at the park, which featured a scene themed to Pocahontas featuring the English invasion, added to the show to promote the recently released film. In 2022, the outdated scene was replaced by a hero segment. The segment begins with Pocahontas singing Just Around the River Bend, and another part features Mulan training. Whilst a lot of references to these late 1990s films have been removed from the park, Pocahontas and Mulan can still be found there today in Fantasmic. Over in Animal Kingdom, Pocahontas and her forest friends debuted in 1998, using the grandmother willow puppet from the Spirit of a Pocahontas show. The show in Camp Minnie Mickey taught guests about North American nature with the use of live animals. The show would end up closing in 2008 and became stroller parking. In 1999, Tarzan Rocks opened in Dinoland USA's Theatre of the Wild. The show was a rock concert celebrating the music of Tarzan, featuring roller skating monkeys and aerial rope stunts. The show closed in 2006 to be replaced by Finding Nemo the Musical. Also in Dinoland USA, Countdown to Extinction opened with the park in 1998. In 2000, to promote the new film, Countdown to Extinction was renamed to Dinosaur. As the attraction and movie were being developed at the same time, the attraction focuses on guests trying to rescue an iguanodon before facing a Carnotaurus. Dinosaurs featured heavily in the dinosaur film. Dinosaur is the last remnant of the late 1990s Disney animation to be found at Animal Kingdom, and its future is currently uncertain. At Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, Ohana's character breakfasts allow guests to meet and greet with Lilo, Stitch, Mickey, and Pluto. Finally, in 2017, Misadventure Falls was added to Typhoon Lagoon Water Park. On Mary Oceaneer's diving bell, an inscription written in Atlantean reads, "I come in peace," using the language from Atlantis: The Lost Empire. There aren't many remnants of the late 1990s and early 2000s Disney movies left at Walt Disney World. Pocahontas and Mulan can still be found in Fantasmic at Hollywood Studios, and Dinosaur was tied to the movie of the same name at Animal Kingdom. Do you wish the movies from this period should be featured more at Walt Disney World? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to know more about the cancelled Atlantis: The Lost Empire attractions originally planned for Magic Kingdom, check out the video below.